evening. You are watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. The Ministry of Health announces 36 new confirmed COVID-19 cases. The Sultan Qaboos University marks its annual day and announces 7 projects winning the royal support. And varied intensity rains are expected over various governorates as the effects of the trough of low pressure starts over the Sultanate. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq has sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency Dr. Andrzej Duda, President of Poland, on his country's National Day. The Ministry of Health announced 36 new confirmed cases of COVID-19, which brings the total number registered in the Sultanate to 2,483. The Ministry of Health stresses that 750 cases have been recovered. Earlier, the Ministry of Health announced the death of a 60-year-old resident infected with COVID-19, which brings the total number of coronavirus fatalities in the Sultanate to 12.
Within the efforts to limit the spread of COVID-19, the ministry advises all citizens and residents to keep on washing hands with water and soap. Avoid touching the face, nose, mouth and eyes. Follow hygienic habits when coughing and sneezing. Adhere strictly to social distancing instructions. Stay at home and not to go out unless absolutely necessary. Adhering to isolation and social distancing will prevent you, your family and the community from COVID-19. Stay safe.
May 2nd of every year is a memorable day in the March of Sultan Qaboos University, in which it celebrates the university's day in its 20th edition of the anniversary of the visit of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos bin Saeed, may Allah rest his soul in peace, in the year 2000. The university announced the winning of 7 projects with the royal support. The Sultan Qaboos University is the scientific edifice that is overflowing with knowledge. It managed to achieve various scientific and research achievements. The 2nd of May of each year comes as an immortal day in its journey, while the support for the strategic research projects represents the culmination of its high academic efforts. The university continues efforts and the educational wheel does not stop. Last year, it organized 15 conferences and symposia. The published scientific papers reached 2,014 papers, and the university also issued 16 scientific refereed journals, while it developed 16 expositions of the invention and ranked 379 in the global universities, ranking QS for 2020 and 8th at the level of Arab universities. The latest analysis of the National Multi-Hazard Early Warning Center shows that the Sultanate will be affected by a trough of low pressure. The Public Authority for Civil Aviation said that the effects of the trough will start from today and is expected to continue until Monday. Partly cloudy to cloudy skies with chances of varied intensity rainfall, occasionally thunderous, accompanied by active wind and hail, are expected over the governorates of Musandam, Buraymi, Dhahira, North and South al-Batina, Muscat, Dakhiliya, North and South Sharqiya. Meanwhile, scattered rains are expected over the mountains and the coastal areas of the governorate of Dhofar. The Wilaya of Samail and the Governorate of Dakhiliya witnessed moderate to heavy rains accompanied by active winds which led some wadis and their tributaries to overflow. The following are footage of the rainfall and some overflowing wadis in the governorate. The amount of fish landed in the artisanal, coastal, and commercial fishing sectors increased during the first quarter of this year by 19.4% to reach 202,000 tons compared to 169,000 tons during the first quarter of the year 2019. Shrimp fishing formed 95.5% of the total fish harvested during the same period of the current year. Meanwhile, the percentage of fish harvested during the past year reached 95.9% and amounted to 555,000 tons of the total amount of harvested fish. Al-Wusta Governorate topped the list of governorates with the highest number of landed fish with 42.4%. Still to come on News Bulletin. A tortoise in Turkey celebrates the 100th birthday.
Non-compliance with the directives of the Supreme Committee dealing with coronavirus COVID-19 exposes you to risk and legal action. Stay safe.
Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. The new coronavirus has killed more than 238,000 people worldwide, including more than 65,000 in the United States and more than 20,000 each in Italy, Britain, France, and Spain. U.S. President Donald Trump said he hopes the total number of the U.S. deaths will be below the 100,000, which he acknowledged is a horrible number. As the crisis stabilizes in some European countries and American states, governments are easing the shutdown of businesses that plunged the global economy into its deepest slump since the 1930s and wiped out millions of jobs. Germany, which has registered more than 164,000 cases, but seen only about 6,700 deaths, has strict social distancing guidelines, but never restricted people going outside for exercise. Smaller shops have already opened, and this is the first weekend in which playgrounds, museums, and zoos are permitted to open as well. Pakistan today announced 1,297 new cases, raising the total of the country to 220 million people to 18,114. Africa now has more than 40,000 reported cases and more than 1,600 deaths across the continent. Concern was growing in Moscow that hospitals might become overwhelmed after Russia recorded a new one-day high of 9,633 new infections, a 20% increase. Russia has now reported 124,054 total cases, with 15,013 recoveries and 1,222 fatalities. Moscow's mayor said that this week the officials are considering establishing temporary hospitals at sport complexes and shopping malls to deal with the influx of patients. Infection cases have reached the highest level of government, with both the Prime Minister and the Construction Minister contracting the virus. In Russia's far northeast, officials said that 3,000 out of 10,000 workers at a vast natural gas field had tested positive. In Italy, which has seen the most deaths in Europe with more than 28,000 people, looked enviously on at Spain as they awaited their own relaxation of restrictions now that the number of new cases has leveled out. Italy's Special Commissioner for combating the coronavirus said that the gradual loosening of the 2-month lockdown starting Monday signals a new challenge. More masks will be distributed for people riding public transportation, whose numbers are expected to climb as the manufacturing and construction sectors emerge from the lockdown. Stores, restaurants, cafes, and cultural sites like museums remain closed until May the 18th. World air traffic suffered a massive drop of more than half in March compared with the same period last year, thanks to the coronavirus-related travel restrictions. The International Air Transport Association said that 52.9% drop when measured by the total revenue per passenger's kilometers was the largest decline in the recent history, reflecting the impact of government actions to slow the spread of COVID-19. Many of the roughly 290 airlines which are members of the association have been hard hit by the slump in the air travel demand, with much of the world in lockdown as governments fight to limit the spread of the coronavirus. U.S. aerospace giant Boeing and British Airways have notably announced this week they expect to make thousands of job cuts after traffic volume fell to levels not seen since 2006. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un made his first public appearance in 20 days as he celebrated the completion of a fertilizer factory near Pyongyang, ending an absence that had triggered global rumors that it may be seriously ill. Kim attended the ceremony yesterday in Suncheon with other senior officials, including his sister Kim Yoo-jong, who many analysts predicted would take over if her brother is suddenly unable to rule. Speculation about his health swirled after he missed the April 15 birthday celebration of his late grandfather Kim Il-sung, the country's most important holiday, for the first time since taking power in 2011. Turkey's oldest tortoise, Tuki, turned 100 years old on Thursday and celebrated with a quiet birthday party as the private Faruk Yalçın Zoo in the northwestern province of Kocaeli remained closed to visitors because of the coronavirus. A small party was arranged for Tuki with balloons and a giant birthday cake made of lettuce and vegetables. He was accompanied by another tortoise and a group of llamas. Born in 1920, Tuki is Turkey's only Aldabra tortoise. One of the largest species of tortoise in the world, they originate from the Seychelles and are among the longest-lived animals, with some reaching more than 200 years. Aldabra tortoises are an endangered species due to habitat destructions by humans. Here are the Ramadan times for tomorrow. Fajr prayers will be at 4 a.m. and 11 minutes and Maghrib prayer at 6 p.m. and 41 minutes. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's news bulletin, here are the main points once again. The Ministry of Health announces 36 new confirmed COVID-19 cases. The Sultan Qaboos University marks its annual day and announces 7 projects winning the royal support. And varied intensity rains are expected over various governorates as the effects of the trough of low pressure start over the Sultanate. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, thank you for watching and have a good night.